Welcome back to the Naturally Balanced Hormones Show. I'm your host, Marissa Fay. I am a board certified holistic nutritionist and functional medicine practitioner. And today we are talking all about your lymphatic system and aging. So I put a poll out to my followers on Instagram and said, what do you want to hear about on the Naturally Balanced Show? And by a landslide, everybody was like, wait, Marissa, what is this lymphatic system thing? And why do I need to care about this if I want to age beautifully? And I was like, say less, I got you. So that is what we're going to cover today in the down and dirty format that I like to do in these episodes, 20 minutes or less, where we get in, we get out. I share the no BS take and approach that is important for you to know so you can clear out all the noise, all the BS, everything that you're exposed to on social media, in marketing, in all of this conversation about aging, and really take away what you absolutely need to know and absolutely be doing in order to age beautifully, healthfully, and with balanced hormones. So let's get into it. Okay. All right. So first up, what is the lymphatic system anyways? You probably have been served videos on social media about the lymphatic system and been like, what is this? But also I'm so not focused. And oh my God, they just showed me another video. I don't even have the time to figure out what this is. So let's talk about it. So your lymphatic system is your body's sewage system, to put it nicely. And it is all throughout your body. It's very close to the skin's surface. And that sewage system is where toxins go, where excess hormones sometimes go, where things go that your body is not prepared to or not ready to deal with. And I have this crazy zoom on this camera that just likes to get in real close for a shot like that. So there you have it. That's how important it is for you to know about this lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system, while it runs throughout your entire body and is close to the surface, about a third of it is neck up. So that is why we're seeing this huge influx of influencers talking a lot about like facial massage. What they're trying to do is move your lymphatic system. Okay. The thing about the lymphatic system is, unlike your circulatory system, right, that involves your heart, right, and pumping your blood, your lymphatic system does not have a pump. So it relies on you to pump it through your daily habits and behaviors. Now, here is the thing. As we have become increasingly sedentary, less mobile, we have jobs that keep us sitting. We have Netflix shows that keep us sitting for a marathon. We just are not as active as maybe we once were because our daily life has been made so much easier by things like washing machines and ovens, right? Where we might have been doing things like hand washing and doing all that aggressive work to wash our clothes. We're not doing that anymore, right? So with that has come an increase in inflammation, an increase in puffiness, and a decrease in skin health texture, and firmness. And we're seeing that throughout the entire body. And so some signs that your lymphatic system is not flowing like it should be are going to be things like if you wear socks, you get big indents on your leg that take a while to go away. You are noticing that you're really puffy, especially in the face and the hands and the lower extremities. You have a lot of cellulite, right? Even if you're somebody who's pretty active, who's doing things like strength training and walking, like what I teach inside of my Balanced Cortisol Academy course. And frankly, inside of everything that I do with people, I teach that because we've got to be doing it. But if you're somebody who's like, I'm pretty health conscious, Marissa, what is up with this, right? Why do I have so much cellulite? To an extent, there's some genetics involved in it. There's hormones involved in it. Let me know below if you would want me to do an episode all about cellulite, because we can get way further into it. But it also has to do with what's going on in the lymphatic system. And what I've noticed in women's bodies, especially when we're overwhelmed by hormone imbalance or metabolic dysfunction, is that lymphatic system is just bogged down, and we really need to be giving it special attention. So let's talk about some of the effects that you can see beyond that and what you can do to work on your lymphatic system health and flow. So here's the thing. We are seeing, I think, women aging at much more rapid rates. And that has a lot to do with your hormone health, which is especially influenced by what you're eating and not eating, including women doing things like eating a vegetarian diet, which is just one of the potentially worst things you can do for your hormone health and for your skin health and for your lymphatic health, unfortunately. Again, you want an episode on that, let me know below. But we've got to be eating really nourishing dense diets. But in addition to that, too, we've got to be taking care of our stress and our cortisol levels. Cortisol impacts all other hormones, but especially hormones inside the steroid family. And those are hormones you've probably heard of, like cortisol, like progesterone, like testosterone, like DHEA. Really, really important, all influenced by what's going on with cortisol. We are living stressed out lives and we are stressing out our bodies further. And then toxin exposure is also a huge piece of this puzzle where we're seeing the decline of our lymphatic health when we are exposing ourselves to plastics, to things like nonstick pans and the chemicals in them, to all the chemicals that can be in skincare products, ironically, and personal care products, ironically, right? Lots of really, really crummy ingredient products. And so we want to be really, really mindful of what we're exposing our bodies to, because that is a part of also improving your lymphatic system health. Okay. In general, if your lymphatic system is bogged down, you're going to get things like bags under your eyes. You're going to get things like puffiness. You're going to get things like rapidly progressing wrinkling, thinning of the skin. Okay. Things that we don't want. Right. And I say this anytime somebody gives me a platform to say so, but healthy and beautiful aging starts on the inside. It is an inside job. You've got to be on top of your inside health first and foremost. Okay. But then where we can put a spotlight on is like, what habits and behaviors can we engage in to really get that lymphatic system flowing, get that lymphatic system working more optimally. And it really does start with super simple things. The first is that you are drinking high quality filtered water. I'm not talking a Brita and I'm not talking tap water. And I'm going to drop a link for you below to my very favorite reverse osmosis water filter so that you can grab that and be doing that. Next is we've got to use minerals in our water because we need cofactors to properly absorb that hydration so that it gets in to our lymphatic system. When you just drink a ton of plain tap water, you're exposing your body, first of all, to a lot of toxins within that water itself, a lot of chemicals, heavy metals, even things like hormones, medications that they just can't filter out well enough. You're exposing your body to all of that. But not only that, you're not giving your body what it needs to suck up, right? Everything that it needs to from that water. It needs those cofactors in the form of minerals. My favorite just electrolyte powder I've been recommending a ton recently is called Zerolite. It's from Trace Elements. Again, I'll drop a link below, but you can get it through my Fullscript store, which there is a link in my bio wherever you might follow me to sign up for a Fullscript account. It's free. You get a discount. Check out Zerolite. It's basically what Element wishes it was. So if you like that slightly salty electrolyte taste, it has that, but it also has way more potassium, which we often need. It has trace minerals, which our lymphatic system needs. So we need a really good high quality electrolyte powder. If you don't like electrolyte powders, you also could do making your own. So one of the versions that I teach clients to make oftentimes, and this is not going to be great for you if you're somebody who tends towards histamine reaction, which would be to include a big splash of lemon or lime juice, a big pinch of real natural salt. So something like Redmond's real salt, Celtic sea salt, something like that. A little bit of something that has a little bit of sugar in it, because you need a little bit of sugar, a little bit of glucose to get these electrolytes into the cell. So something like, I would say like a little bit of coconut water. It has a little bit of potassium in it too, which I like. You could put another splash of a different kind of juice, like pure pomegranate juice in there, but that can be really helpful. And then I really find women are woefully depleted in potassium. So I like a quarter teaspoon of cream of tartar, which is a natural source of potassium, or you can get some just powdered potassium from like bulk supplements and do a scoop of that in there, but you can make your own. There are a lot of other recipes too, but that's kind of a base, easy recipe. So we've got water that's properly filtered, right? That's not exposing us to garbage. We've got electrolytes or an amped up water where we're adding our own mix-ins to make it rich in minerals and electrolytes and nutrients. Okay. Really important for lymphatic system. Next is that you actually move. You actually move it. So you move your body. You are the pump. This is one of the millions of reasons I love walks. And I just did an episode all about walking. So check that out if this is resonating for you. But walks, so important, so helpful for the lymphatic system. Also bouncing. You can literally bounce on your feet. You don't need to get a fancy little trampoline or anything like that, or a vibration plate, although those might be great for you. But you also can literally up onto your toes, bounce, 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 bounce for like a minute or two every morning. Something that the lymphatic system really, really loves. Some other things that you might consider doing, and I think are really important for lymphatic health, is heating up your body. Now, I want you to know heating up your body is different is different than exercising. Why? Well, first of all, we around here, we don't exercise to sweat, actually. We exercise to improve our muscular health. We exercise to balance our cortisol levels. We exercise to increase our low intensity activity, to increase our metabolic function. We do not exercise to sweat, actually. You may sweat when you exercise, but we don't do intense exercise for the purpose of sweating. And I've had this conversation recently with a couple of people where they are mixing the terms and they are assuming when I say sweat that I mean do intense exercise. And they maybe have had a history of like exercise intolerance where they get really sick if they try to exercise hard, or they feel really unwell, or they can't sleep, or something like that, very kind of intense symptoms related to exercise. I'm not talking about that when I say you need to sweat. I am talking about sweating. I am talking about heating your body up. Now, people who have a lot of gunk in their lymphatic system, whose body is not doing a good job detoxifying, which, by the way, is a lot of you, is a lot of you. The reason I know is because women who have trouble with detoxifying and draining toxins from their body tend to have a lot of symptoms, tend to be the kind of women I'm talking to here, okay? Tend to have things like fatigue, moodiness, inability to lose weight, hair loss, brittle nails, skin not being healthy and happy. So I know you are in the right place, right? If any of that lands for you, I'm talking to you. You are probably having some issues with detoxification, which tells me you are probably having some issues with this lymphatic system and lymphatic flow. You got a sweat, sister, okay? But when you have that backup, you got to go slow. So with my clients, we start out by honestly sometimes just a few minutes, right, of something that's going to provoke a sweat or really heat the body up. Some of my favorite ways to do that are literally so freaking simple: a hot bath. Yes, I said it. Make sure your tub is clean. Do not use jets. It's a great way for mold to grow inside of jets. So no jets, even if you have a jet tub. Okay. But get a water filter very inexpensively on Amazon that at least is going to take care of things like bromine and chlorine and fluorine right in your water. Okay. So get something like that. They're inexpensive. I'll drop a link below if you're watching this on YouTube so that you can check that out. So that's the first thing. Filter that water and then add some unscented, completely unscented Epsom salts or natural sea salt flakes that you can add to your bath. Okay. So add that and just a couple times a week, heat your body up in the bath. The goal is certainly to sweat, but at first that might not feel comfortable for you. So just heat your body up at first. Okay. Same philosophy goes for saunas. Now, I am not a fan of steam saunas. It just feels wrong to me. And I live in a very dry climate in Colorado. Okay. Here's the reason: a lot of women are dealing with some low lying fungal or potentially mold issues, and that steam is going to potentially aggravate that or make things grow. So I don't want any part of that. So dry sauna or infrared sauna, either one of those is beautiful for the lymphatic system. Yes, there are some additional documented benefits for infrared sauna, but I still think the benefits of sauna, period, outweigh anything else. And there are incredible studies on this. Not that studies are the be all end all, but in communities where they use sauna a lot as a way of life, we see a reduction in all kinds of diseases, especially ones related to brain and neurological function in particular. But it's also something that I think should be a part of anybody's anti-cancer prevention plan if you're worried about your risk of cancer based on your family, and based on what you see around you in your community, because your environment impacts those chances of cancer, I believe, a ton. And nobody is really talking about that a lot. But that toxin overload that a lot of us experience in certain communities can be a big risk factor. So get yourself sweating. Okay. I even have clients where they don't have a bathtub. They're not ready to join an inexpensive gym to use their sauna, which, by the way, that's what I do. I have a very inexpensive gym membership. I go there to solely use the sauna sometimes. Okay. That is it. You don't need to have an expensive sauna at home. You don't need to invest in a sauna blanket, which you could get a sauna tent, right? One of those inexpensive ones, but I find they don't often go hot enough for my body. So like there are options is my point here. So make it work for you. If none of those work for you, guess what you're going to do? You're going to do that old like wrestling trick that's like in the movies, like what Rocky did. Didn't Rocky like put on like a sweatsuit that like had no breathability and like another layer and then go for like a run? Don't run, but layer up and go for a walk and you will create heat and you will sweat. Okay. So there are lots of ways to get sweating. It is highly beneficial to be doing that multiple times a week. Work your way up, okay, to ideally 20 to 30 minutes a couple times a week, but take it slow if you need to. So if you experience symptoms like nausea, like lightheadedness, like just feeling off when you heat your body up, then that means you need need to go slower. Okay. But I'm telling you, it will pay off. We've got to be sweating. We have got to be sweating and heating our bodies up for this lymphatic system, for the health of our skin, for healthy aging. Okay. Next in the line for lymphatic system, touch yourself. And I don't mean in like a creepy way. I mean, touch yourself. Okay. So dry brushing is a wonderful practice when it comes to moving the lymphatic system. I really actually like the Big Six, which is a Perry Nicholson. I'll try to tag and find one of his videos here for you so you can see the Big Six and learn how to do it properly. I'll also put in one of my videos on dry brushing so that you can learn all about that as well. But these are practices that are going to open up the lymphatic system to flow easier, which is really important and very helpful. And especially to my girls out there who feel like you're eating healthy, you're moving your body, and you're dealing with a lot of cellulite, I find dry brushing, especially on the legs, to be so incredible. And it's going to get that lymphatic system moving and flowing, which is what we're looking for when we're wanting to increase elasticity. Okay. Now, let's also talk about breathing because breathing is huge here. Deep breathing, where you're really moving your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is below your lungs, okay? And we put our hands on our low belly. And if you breathe in through your nose and you feel that low belly expand, that's diaphragmatic breathing. I highly recommend something like box breathing, which is where you inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, you exhale for a count of 4, and then you hold again. And repeating that and doing that type of breathing at least a couple of rounds, or simply, everybody overcomplicates this. Just sit down and take a couple of really deep, rich breaths, hand on the belly again so you can feel where you need to expand. We don't need to expand up here. So people who that's not diaphragmatic breathing. That's not breathing that's helpful for your lymphatic system. It's the belly expanding that is really important here. So that's very helpful for moving that lymphatic system and getting it flowing. Some other tips that help with your lymphatic system health and flow are going to be things like following an anti-inflammatory diet, reducing and removing inflammatory oils like vegetables, oils, seed oils, flower oils like safflower, sunflower oils, and avoiding highly processed foods. The vast majority of your diet should be single ingredient foods, meaning, oh, I buy a package of ground beef, the ingredient is beef. Oh, I buy some bell peppers I'm going to cook, the ingredient is bell peppers, right? So simply ingredient sourced food is by a landslide absolutely critical when it comes to your full body health, reducing inflammation, but also your lymphatic system health. Okay. And then, of course, it's going to be really important to reduce that toxin exposure, especially with your topicals. I'm seeing a lot of women using topicals that have a lot of crap ingredients in them. My very, very favorite skincare brand is by a landslide Clear Stem. I use other products too, but I'll link them below with my discount code if you want to explore them. I'm obsessed. I was born with like forehead wrinkles. Like, I'm not even joking. They're just like hereditary in my family. And I feel like if you're watching this, I really feel like they look pretty great for a woman in her late 30s at this point who will never use something like Botox. Okay. Not for me. I don't want to put a toxin into my body like that knowingly. But I'm A-okay with things that are a bit more natural and going to help improve the tone and health of my skin. I'm also a huge fan of collagen. And there's a lot of controversy for some odd reason about collagen. I think it's kind of baloney, but I do a high quality grass fed collagen every day. I find some food to sneak it in, whether that's a smoothie or protein oats, which I don't eat that often anymore, but I really used to. I make this like mug cake, this protein mug cake. I'll put a scoop in there. Or you can put it in soups, like brothy soups or pureed soups. It's great in that. But I do collagen every day from a grass-fed source. And that really is a part of what I think can be improving the skin health, but also giving your body nutrients that are also going to support that lymphatic system. So those are a couple of down and dirty tips as it relates to your lymphatic system and to healthy aging. I would love to hear from you on what resonated with you, what questions you have. So drop them below for me or find me on social media. I'm at Marissa Faye Wellness on Instagram and on TikTok. TikTok. You can find this show anywhere you like to listen to podcasts. You can watch the video on YouTube or Spotify. And make sure to check out the link below. I'm going to drop a link to my free cortisol regulating roadmap, which is an incredible resource for you in getting on this journey of eating healthier in ways that are going to support not just your cortisol, my friends, but all your hormones and actually your lymphatic system as well. So I would love for you to check that out. And I will see you in the next episode of the Naturally Balanced Hormones Show.